Hello, and thank you for choosing to utilize the Ohio Department of Taxation's video tutorials for the Ohio Business Gateway. This tutorial will assist you in setting up a third-party representative and client relationship for filing purposes. Please note, throughout this tutorial, we will refer to the Ohio Business Gateway as OBG. Before we begin the 3 steps necessary to set up a third-party representative and client relationship, let's first examine what this relationship is and whether it is something that is necessary for your OBG account and filing needs. The relationship is formed on OBG between a taxpayer and a third-party representative. When this relationship is formed, the representative will be granted access to the taxpayer's OBG account to prepare and submit any number of business taxes on their behalf. Now that we have described what the relationship is, let's take a moment to describe the 2 parties making up the relationship. The first party is the taxpayer, which can be a person or company who needs to have their business taxes filed. The second party is the representative. A third-party representative can consist of any number of people. The representative is generally not associated with the taxpayer or their business and is usually a CPA or some form of a tax practitioner. The representative can be a business or individual employed by the taxpayer to prepare and file their taxes as necessary. If you are filing your own taxes or will not be utilizing a third-party representative, this relationship is not necessary for your OBG account. Please do not attempt to use this tutorial any further, as it may cause complications when accessing your OBG account for future filings. If you will be using a third-party representative to submit business tax returns on your behalf, please continue watching this tutorial for assistance on setting up your third-party representative and client relationship. A relationship of this nature is beneficial for many reasons. First, it allows third-party representatives to keep their various clients' accounts separate and safe. Second, it allows both parties to retain access to OBG for future filing needs. Third, a taxpayer is able to regulate what filings a third party is able to perform on their behalf. And finally, it allows the Department of Taxation to determine who has submitted filings on behalf of a taxpayer in case there are any discrepancies in the filings. To begin the third-party representative and client relationship process, each party will need to be registered to use OBG. This means that the taxpayer must register on OBG with their business information and obtain a username and password for their OBG account. The third-party representative will also need to register on OBG using their business information and obtain their own unique username and password. For assistance in registering to use OBG, please see our tutorial, New OBG Account Registrations. After both parties have registered to use OBG, the next step in the third-party representative and client relationship setup process is for the third-party representative to log into their OBG account and generate a service provider representative ID number. Let's begin by having the third-party representative log in to OBG. On the right side of the OBG information page, there is a red box which states Log in now or create an account. Click on this link to navigate to the OBG login webpage. On the left-hand side of the OBG Electronic Filing Services login page, there is a section labeled Existing Users. Within this section, there are 2 fields that must be filled in, username and password. Please remember, these fields are case sensitive and must be entered exactly as they were created. After these fields have been filled in, click on the Login button to navigate to the OBG home page. Across the top of the home page, there are 4 links. We will be concentrating on the link labeled Administration at this time. By clicking on the Administration link, OBG navigates to a page that contains 5 separate sections. The first section displayed in the Administration area is Company Information. This section displays multiple fields of information including the FEIN, the legal name, the corporate name, the trade name, the contact phone number, the contact email address, and the service provider representative ID number. To generate the service provider representative ID number, the representative must click the Edit button at the bottom of this section. After the Edit button has been selected, multiple fields will become available to be updated by the representative. The last field displayed in the Company Information section is for the Service Provider Representative ID number. In this field, there is a button labeled Generate ID. The third-party representative will need to select the Generate ID button. Once this button is selected, OBG will generate a 10-digit ID that is unique to that representative's OBG account. Once OBG has generated a number, the representative must click the Save button to make it active. This number is always viewable in the My Information area after the Save button has been pressed. After the service provider representative ID number has been generated and saved by the representative, they must pass along this number to their client, the taxpayer. The taxpayer will use this number to complete the second step in setting up a third-party representative and client relationship. To begin the second step in our process, we must now have the taxpayer log in to OBG. Across the top of the home page, there are 4 links. We will be concentrating on the link labeled Administration at this time. By clicking on the Administration link, OBG navigates to a page that contains 5 separate sections. The fourth section displayed in the Administration area is Group Administration. This section allows a taxpayer to create groups and add users to the groups they have created. The taxpayer should notice that there are multiple sections within the group area, including Group Name, Service Provider Representative Access, and Edit Group. These sections will provide a small amount of information for existing groups. There is also a link labeled Create Group. By clicking on this link, a taxpayer is able to create a group to address their filing needs. The first item to complete when creating a group on OBG is to give the group a name. When creating a group, this section must be completed by the taxpayer and is denoted by a red asterisk. It is recommended that the name chosen is recognizable by not only the taxpayer, but by the representative as well. The second item to be completed when creating a group is to select the services that will be available to the members of the group, as well as give access rights for those services that have been selected. OBG provides a list of all the services offered on its website. To select a service to be added to the group, the taxpayer must choose an access level from the drop-down menu that is associated with the desired service. Each service has 3 levels of which access can be granted. The first level, which can be granted, is Create and Edit. Granting this level of access for a given service means those group members can only create a return or payment for a given service. They can also edit any return or payment that has been created. However, those members cannot submit the returns or payments. This task must be completed by someone who has a higher access level on OBG. The second access level that can be assigned for a group is All Access. If this level of access is granted, members of the group have the ability to create returns and payments, edit returns and payments, and file and pay any returns or payments that have been initiated on OBG. Essentially, the members of the group with this access level can do everything associated with filing and paying on OBG for that service. The third access level that can be assigned for a group is Admin. This access level mimics the properties of the All Access level. If this level of access is granted, members of the group have the ability to create returns and payments, edit returns and payments, and file and pay any returns or payments that have been initiated on OBG. Essentially, the members of the group with this access level can do everything associated with filing and paying on OBG for that service. The taxpayer who is creating this group is required to specify which services they want the third-party representative to have access to, and what level of rights they want to give to their representative. It is imperative that the taxpayer make the proper selections for their group. If they fail to do so, their representative may not be able to submit the proper tax filings on their behalf in a timely manner. After the taxpayer has assigned access levels for the desired services, the final item to be completed is for the taxpayer to add and verify the service provider representative ID number that was provided to them by their representative. This verification area can be found at the bottom of the group page. The taxpayer must input the 10-digit service provider representative ID number in the space provided. As the taxpayer does this, an acknowledgement checkbox is activated. The taxpayer must place a check in this box to verify the acknowledgement listed. After placing a check in the box, a Validate ID button will then become active. The taxpayer must click on the Validate ID button, and OBG will validate the 10-digit number that was added and display the name of that third-party provider. The taxpayer should verify the representative's information is correct. Then click on the Save button to save the group they have created. If the taxpayer attempts to verify the service provider representative ID number and they are unable to do so, or if the verification lists a representative who is not theirs, the taxpayer will need to verify that the 10-digit service provider representative ID number given to them is accurate. After the taxpayer has notified the representative of the group's creation, the representative is responsible for completing the third and final step of the third-party representative and client relationship. The representative will now need to log back in to OBG. Once logged in, the representative will now need to add members to the group. The members of the group will be selected from the users that are listed on their OBG account. To add members to the group, the representative will need to edit the group. Across the top of the home page, there are 4 links. We will be concentrating on the link labeled Administration at this time. By clicking on the Administration link, OBG navigates to a page that contains 5 separate sections. The fourth section displayed in the administration area is Group Administration. This section allows a taxpayer to create groups and add members to the groups that have been created. The representative should now see the group that was created by their client, the taxpayer. If they fail to see the group the client created, there has been an error on the client's end. The representative will need to contact the client and have them correctly complete their portion of this process. The representative should notice that there are multiple sections within the group area, including Group Name, Service Provider Representative Access, and Edit Group. They will want to click on the Edit button in the Edit Group section. The representative must then assign members to the group they have created. There are two sections for group members: users not in this group and users in this group. The section Users Not in this group will list anyone who is a user on the OBG account that has not been added to this group. One or all of these users can be added to the group. The representative can click on an individual user and then click the single arrow to move the single user into the section Users in this group. If the representative wishes to, they can move all users into the section Users in this group by clicking on the double arrow. Similar steps can be taken to move users from the section Users in this group back to the section Users Not in this group. It must be noted that if the representative fails to add at least one member to the group from their list of users, they will be unable to access their client's OBG account for filing purposes. After the representative adds the necessary users as members of the group, click the Save button to confirm. After the representative has added their members, click on the Home link at the top of the administration page. The representative will now see a drop-down list in the upper right-hand corner of their page. This list includes the name of their OBG account as well as the name of any clients they have completed this process for. The representative can select the name of their client from the list, and OBG will navigate them to their client's OBG page for filing purposes. The representative can verify that they are in the correct account by verifying the information listed on the OBG homepage for their client. After they have verified they are in the correct account, they can proceed with the necessary filings on behalf of their client. When the representative has finished filing for this client, they can navigate back to their own OBG account by selecting their name from the drop-down list. This concludes our video tutorial for setting up a third-party representative and client relationship for filing purposes. Thank you.